What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Healthy Choices Wellness Corp. I want to go over some of the current data points, what shorts have been up to, and just bring up one very obvious point when it comes down to HCWC's management. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off at the time doing this video, it is sitting at $2.80, up 6.87%. A lot of volatility today, but for those of you that have been watching my HCWC videos, you would know that I did state that it was going to bounce off of this general area and trend higher. That was just going to be more of a quick swing trade. So let me know if you guys did take advantage of this dip and bought. But bigger picture, I do feel like it is going to continue to trend down essentially, and that's just obviously linked to a lot of the dilution that's going to come from their convertible debt. So it is what it is. That's kind of just the nature of the game, but unfortunately, there hasn't been all that much coming out from the company itself, so no SEC filings, no press releases. You would have assumed that because of the whole spin-off, management would turn over a new leaf and start to provide a lot more updates, but it hasn't really happened. They did a letter on the 20th, but I've already talked about that in a previous video. When it comes to shorts though, based on yesterday, 43.52% of the daily volume was attributed to shorts, 35% was done off exchange. So shorts are getting a little bit more bold. And this is why you will probably see in the foreseeable future a lot more volatility, as shorts pretty much dictate what is going to be happening with HCWC. And the reason why they would be swing trading it and getting in and out is largely because of the cost to borrow. So right now there's around 80,000 shares available to be shorted, and the cost to borrow is 65.06. But if we kind of scroll back a couple days back, it was at 100%. On a side note, that is annual rates. So it's not, they're not getting charged 108% every single day. That is per year. And so, yeah, essentially you can still make money. I've stated in the past, before the whole spinoff did even occur, that the only way to really make a substantial amount of money on HCWC and this whole spinoff was to short it. So yeah, I think the opportunity was there. And like I kind of insinuated, I think after this temporary buying opportunity right now that we are in, is going to continue to trend down. But I wanted to go over one very obvious point, and I get it. Some people really like this whole spinoff because this is what they invested in, or I guess maybe they started to invest in HCMC due to the whole lawsuit, but they eventually fell in love with the grocery chain and kind of the better movement that they're trying to do. So one thing that I just wanted to bring up, so this is HCMC. Obviously it's gone slaughtered since then because it's kind of worthless. The lawsuit might amount to something, but probably not overall. But when it comes down to it, it has been a while, but if we kind of scroll back, it's interesting to note all these 144s and 4 and 4s. And so I brought this up in the past. So this is the latest 4 and 4s that did come out. So this one shows as of September the 5th, 2023, so a good year ago, that this individual, so Christopher Santee, sold 141,000 shares. Drop in the bucket, very small amount. But the important point I want to kind of hit home is it shows how many shares they had after this transaction. Same goes for, this is Christopher Santee as well. There's another one right here. I believe this is Jeffrey Holman. So I'll make this a good old PDF so you guys can kind of see it. So essentially this one shows on August the 24th, so different date right here, that they sold 500,000 shares. It's still kind of pennies overall, but the important point is this right here, how many shares they had previously. So going back over here, 144s. So that did insinuate their intention to liquidate. So this is right here. So this is John Ouellette right here, who is selling on September 15th, 2023, 4.7 billion shares. So kind of crazy stuff. So all of his position, same goes for Christopher Santee right over here, all of their position, remaining position, and that was done on the 12th. And then you also had right here, Jeffrey Holman. And the reason why they did this is because in the eyes of the company, they already did that spinoff. The whole actual date was stated. So the whole ex-dividend date, so the whole spinoff was going to occur. But leading into this spinoff, they didn't have any shares. Again, I'm just bringing up the very obvious point, and I've already done a video on how a lot of these individuals, more specifically right here, are scammers and just have a very sketchy past. That's just my opinion, of course. You guys can do your own deeper dive if necessary, but they did this whole spin-off and now they have 0 shares, none. Because if they did buy post IPO, then essentially they would have to submit a Form 4. So there has been no Form 4 submitted for HCWC. So essentially, my point is that management knew that this was going to sell off. As I was very open in saying in previous videos on S1s, they were alluding to a significant pullback to roughly $2 to $3, even though they kept saying IPO is going to launch between 9 and 11. So kind of very interesting stuff. Again, I don't know how this company doesn't have lawsuits against them for just changing the ex-dividend date like that, but they did this whole spin-off, in my opinion, knowing that it was going to sell off. And still, to date, they have not bought back. So if you think about it, if management was to have spun off their HCMC shares and through that whole ex-dividend get new shares of HCWC, like they would be down a significant amount. But again, if they knew that it was going to go down, why not sell it and buy back when it is cheap? Let's say $1.50, or even $2, let's say. Yeah, this is a very big question mark, very big sketchy scenario going on. So like I said, you guys might believe in the company. I'm just bringing up the very obvious point that people seem to be overlooking, and maybe on purpose. People just don't want to know about the truth when it comes down to that. But management not owning any shares of the company itself that they're managing is a very big FU to investors. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Do you think that they are going to buy in, or do you think that they have fully checked out? They're just there for the paychecks? And because if you notice, based on previous S1s, they gave them a nice bonus. That was in the early S1s. So they're getting paid regardless of performance of HCWC. So yeah, what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And take advantage of this promo. Only a week left. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.